Hey guys, this tutorial is for basically blowing stuff up. So we're going to blow up a rock, but we're going to do it two different ways. One way we're going to do it with a pre-made explosion that's already been created for you. So realistically, it's about as simple as adding a bullet to your world. Just a little, gets a little fancier because part of it's done for you. The second one we're going to do is actually a debris explosion. And so that one's going to be a lot more basically up to us how it's created. And we'll get some hands-on experience with making our own explosions that way so that you guys can add it into projects in the future. So let's start looking at the rock class and what we've got here. So the first thing we have is, well, I've added a couple things then from what you might have in your scenario. I've basically made it so that if the E key is down, it makes it explode. And this is going to be where we use our pre-made, so pre-made explosion. And the other one is the debris explosion. So if you press D, debris explode gets called. And so self-made explosion with debris. So let's just start off with looking at our explode class or explosion class, seeing what we have here. So you guys actually don't need to understand any of this. It includes some things that you're not going to learn about until until later on. But as you can see, if I shift click, okay, you guys probably couldn't hear that, but it makes an explosion sound when you do it. And then when you press run, okay, it gets big and small and it removes itself from the world. So realistically, all we have to do for that explosion piece is replace the rock with an explosion. So let's head over here, and it's going to be super simple. It's just like adding a bullet to the world, except you're adding an explosion. So here what we're going to do when we explode is we are going to say, when explode is called, we want to create, well, we want to add to the world. So get world dot add object, just like we would with a bullet, but except now we're going to say new explosion. Don't have to give it any parameters, and just like a bullet, we're going to add it at get X and get Y. Compile. All right. So let's add a rock to the world and press D. Oh, sorry, not D, E. There we go. But we still have a rock left behind. We don't really want that, so let's go to the rock class again, and simply right afterwards, let's add a few notes here, just saying add a new explosion object to the world, and then afterwards remove the rock from the world. We'll do get world dot remove object this. Compile, add a rock, run, E. There we go. So it's removed from the world. Awesome. So now that we've got that one done, let's talk about more what we can do for our own explosions. We're going to head over to the debris class. And you can see that when I shift click, we've got a piece of rock. Okay, it's cut off from this other rock. Now what we want to do is we want to make different size pieces. We want to rotate them, and we want to make them move so that we can basically create an explosion where there's a bunch of debris flying off of our rock and our rock removes itself from the world. So in the debris class, we're going to start off by, of course, we're going to start in the constructor here. And one of the things, like I said, we want to do is let's change the size of the rock. And we also want to rotate it to a random direction. And is there anything else we want to do at the beginning? I think that's pretty good. So in order to change the size of the rock, we need to get the rock first. So get the rock, or the piece of the rock image first. Okay, and so we're going to get the piece of the rock image. We have to simply say get image. Now when we do this, we need to store it somewhere so that we can then change the size of it and scale it and do all sorts of things, whatever we need to do with it. So we got to store it somewhere. So we're going to say Greenfoot image, and we'll call this image just img. We'll say equals get image. Okay, and now what we're going to do is, before we change the size of the rock, we're going to choose a random size for our rock. And so to do that, we're going to want to come up with a random x and y value first. So we don't need these integers after the debris constructor. So what we're going to do is we are going to say int x, and so this is going to, I'll actually say int w for width, or we could do int width equals Greenfoot dot get random number. Now I want a rock piece that is somewhere between 1 and 20 pixels wide. So I'm going to say 19 because the difference between 20 and 1 is 19, and I'm going to add a 1 on the end of it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the height. Okay, and so we've got that there. So these are going to end up being all kinds of different sizes, which is great. And so now we actually have to get to the point where we change the size of this rock. Now, because we are wanting to do something with a Greenfoot image object, we need to get methods from the Greenfoot image class. So we're going to head over to that. I've got it open for us. We're going to see, these are all the things that we can do with Greenfoot images. So I wonder, maybe we should see, can we actually change the size of this? Is there a C, change size? No, there's a clear draw image. As we scroll down, we see, oh, hey, there's a scale. So we're going to scale our image and make it work for us. So we'll head over to debris here, and it says change the size of the rock. Yes, let's do that. So of course, to access those methods, we have to use dot notation. And we'll say scale. And so scale, we'll scale it to the width and height that we previously defined for it. Now, what we're going to do now is we are going to set, well, let's see what we can do here. So this should actually scale everything. Let's just even check our progress here. Got debris. What happens when we stick it down? Okay, good. We get lots of different pieces, sizes of pieces. Some are so small we can't see them. Some are quite big. Okay. If I change my background, you could probably see it a little bit better. Let's go with space 1. That's a little less starry because then we can see our pieces better. Okay. Now, this last piece is just going to be rotating this in a random direction. So we can use set rotation, and we can actually immediately create a random number here in order to make this face a random direction. Now, given that there are 360 degrees in a circle, we're going to get a random number between 0 and 360. Okay, so let's see how this works out for us. Okay, so now we've got all kinds of debris pieces. Okay, the last piece that we need to do to actually make our debris class something that makes sense is we're going to get our debris pieces moving constantly. When they hit the edge of the world, they remove themselves. So that means going down into the act method. So we'll create a new method called movement. make it private. And what we're going to do too is we want to give this a speed. So up in the constructor, I'm going to decide upon the speed. We've got a instance variable created already. We're going to say, so set the speed of the debris. And so we're going to say speed equals greenfoot dot get random number, and we'll do something between let's do between 4 and 8 and see what happens. So difference is 4 and plus 4 on the end there. And we'll say move just in the direction it's facing. So move in the direction it is facing at the speed earlier defined. So let's check this out. And then if it hits the edge of the world, we want to remove it. So remove at edge of world. So if is at edge, then we want to get world dot remove object. And we'll save this, of course. So let's compile and try it out. Oh, no, we can't do that. Let's try move speed. Whoops. So move at the speed defined. Let's see how this works. Add some objects and then run. All right. So of course we haven't added the rock into this situation. What we're going to do is we are going to start another video for that. So this will conclude the first part of this explosion tutorial. The second part will actually get the debris into the world added so that it looks like the rock's exploding.